What is up, you guys? Today, I got the chance to see one battle after another, the latest Paul Thomas Anderson film starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn. This movie's electric. We're just going to jump right into it. So this movie's been getting a lot of hype lately. So far on Letterboxd, it has a 4.5 or 4.6 score right now out of 5. It's just bombing reviews when it comes to positivity. Positivity is out the roof when it comes to this movie. And after seeing it, this is easily one of the best movies of the year and the decade. Now, if I'm honest here, I've only ever seen Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. And I love There Will Be Blood. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. I wasn't a big fan of Boogie Nights, but I watched a few Paul Thomas Anderson movies getting prepared for this, like Phantom Thread, Punch Drunk Love. And I don't think they're amazing as what some people say. But going to this movie, I was a little skeptical. Seeing the trailers, the first few trailers, they were very goofy and silly. Then the next few were very dramatic. So I was very confused on what this movie was going to be, what the vibe was going to be. And seeing that it was 2 hours and 15 minutes long, it's a little lengthy. In all seriousness, this movie flows through perfectly. And I think that 2 hour and 15 minute runtime is delivered greatly. This is the appropriate runtime for this film. It doesn't feel too long and it doesn't feel too short. It feels just the right amount of, it just feels the right amount. The subject matter of this movie is a lot, and I will be honest, when this movie first started rolling, the first act, I would say, is just so the content and the subject matter within this movie for the first act it's a lot to take in, and it caught me, and I saw this with my father, it caught us both by surprise. We were like, oh, this is not what we thought this movie was going to be. And then going into the second and third act, it is what the movie promised in the trailers, and actually even more, I would say. This movie is so, there's so many layers to this movie, and I think that the performances from Sean Penn especially and Leonardo DiCaprio, perfect out of the gate, just amazing. I think Sean Penn is definitely a contender for Best Supporting Actor. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is definitely a contender for Best Actor. And I think this movie is just also a contender for Best Movie of the Year and Best Picture. I feel like the cinematography within this film, there's so many scenes that are just beautifully shot. And the best part about it for me is honestly the soundtrack and score. There's some needle drops within this movie that hit very well. And the score is it'll just be calm. And then all of a sudden you'll see Sean Penn. It'll just elevate like crazy. One of the best scores within the year. Fantastic. It got me made me jump out of my seat when I heard it. I was like, oh my God. It felt like the Oppenheimer score kind of in a way. I was just like, wow. The plot is so there's so much happening within this movie, but it also never feels like there's too much happening. It never feels like the plot is messy. It flows through perfectly. And even though the subject matter does get at times very dark, there is very comedic lines within this film, comedic parts within this film. There's a lot of lines and scenes that are just so out of pocket, and the context of what these people are saying, if you just heard it without the context, so random. I would even be willing to say that this is one of the most funniest movies of the year, while also being one of the most darkest movies of the year at the same time. I feel like also, in another way of saying this movie, each character is in their own separate film, but in a good way. I feel like there's so many genres within this movie, like action, comedy, drama. So it works so well. Or even Western, it works very well. It's just kind of it's alarming, and I kind of think it's a very political movie, even though I don't really like to talk about politics when it comes to movies. This is a very political movie, and I don't know, whether side, each side that you're on the political agenda, I guess, it doesn't really matter. This movie just kind of just says, there's really no good people, really. There's really no hero, there's really no villain, kind of everyone's typically just a bad person. It's just there's worse people and there's bad people. That's pretty much what this movie's saying. To me, at least, that's what I got the message out of. And I don't know, I just felt that Sean Penn and Leonardo DiCaprio were the shining stars for me. And the main girl, I'm sorry, I don't know the actress's name, but I think this is her first starring role. Leonardo DiCaprio's character's daughter, Bob's daughter. Fantastic acting. Honestly, this movie was just really good. Here are my overall thoughts for the film. I'm giving this movie a 94 out of 100 for me. I think this movie's so good, and it's not a 10 out of 10 for me as of right now, but I've only seen this once. Maybe on rewatch it could go up. That's just me for now, but as of right now, I have this in my second of the year. I still like Sinners more. That's just me though. I know a lot of people are putting this in their number one. I think Sinners was just culturally a classic for me, and I'm gonna love Sinners, and I can't wait to watch it for Halloween. But yeah, one battle after another. Fantastic. Paul Thomas Anderson delivered, and I think this is my second favorite of his work so far. I still think There Will Be Blood, and then I'll put this in my second place. But yeah, that is really all I got to say about the film. It's very well, and I think everyone should at least see it once. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, make sure you like it. If you really like it, please subscribe. All it is hitting a button down below. If you want to see future reviews like this, make sure you ring the bell in the description down below. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Cheers out. Peace.